Good evening, and thank you for joining tonight's telephone town hall hosted by the City of Commerce City. My name is Roger, and I'll be your moderator tonight as we talk with Mayor Sean Ford, Mayor Pro Tem Renee Bullock. I knew I was going to do that. I apologize. Councilwoman J.D. Carson, Councilman Steve Douglas, Councilwoman Crystal Elliott, Councilman Paulo Diaz, and Councilman Jason McEldowney. All of them are here tonight, and we're going to talk about the exciting things happening in Commerce City. Council members also want to get your input on some initiatives being considered and ask questions you have and answer questions you have about what's happening in the city. Now, before I ask our panel to make some opening remarks, I want to tell you about the format for tonight's call. We want this to be very interactive, so if you would like to ask the City Council or Mayor a question, press *3 on your keypad, and you'll be transferred to an operator who will take down some basic information. Again, *3. Once the operator notes your information, you'll be returned to the call and can listen in to the conversation until it's your turn to ask a question. So again, *3 on your keypad to join in our discussion and ask the panel a question. Since we have a variety of topics to cover tonight, and our panel would like to take as many of your questions as possible, we're going to limit each participant to one question. If you're called upon, I will ask you to repeat your question for our live audience. We'll also be asking several polling questions during the call, and I will explain that process to you in just a few minutes. So now I'd like to turn our call over to Mayor Sean Ford for some opening remarks. Mayor, go right ahead.
Thank you. Welcome to Commerce City's first telephone town hall of 2016. We're looking forward to using this technology throughout the year to have conversations with residents about questions that you have about the city, share important information, and get your feedback on upcoming projects. Beginning tonight, City Council will host an hour-long call at 7 p.m., the third Wednesday of every month. Tonight we want to hear from you. I hope you'll continue to talk with us throughout the series of telephone meetings. So please press *3 if you have a question or a comment. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Next up, again, let me just remind you, if you have a question or comment for the City Council, please press *3, as the Mayor just mentioned, and we'll get you in the queue. Next, we have Mayor Pro Tem Renee Bullock. Mr. Bullock, before we get starting to take specific questions, why don't you talk a little bit about what's happening in the city right now?
Thank you, Roger. There's a lot of exciting things going on in Commerce City right now. The biggest thing is the process being made on our voter-approved capital improvement program. All 5 of the projects promised to the voters are in an active phase of development right now, and we are well on our way to delivering all the projects by January 1st, 2019. Last summer, we opened the new water park, Paradise Island Pool, at Pioneer Park, and I hope many of you will join us this opening weekend this year, which is going to be May 28th. So circle May 28th on your calendars and try to get on one of the slides or in the lazy river. The new 20-acre Fonterra Neighborhood Park also opened last summer, and construction is underway for our 2 neighborhood parks in Turnberry and the Village at Buffalo Run East. We expect those to open this summer sometime. Construction on Tower Road should begin this spring. We've hired an architect for the new recreation center located at 112th and Highway 2, and we are finishing programming assessments for the expansion of the existing rec center. So that's all I have.
Councilman, thank you. A lot of exciting things. Looking forward to hearing questions from our audience in just a couple of minutes. In fact, we're going to go right to Patricia to start us off. Go right ahead with your question today, and thanks for participating.
Sure, absolutely. My question is, what are the plans to reduce property taxes?
Councilman?
Hi, Patricia. Thank you for your question. This is Jason McEldowney, and this
Yes,
is a
Jason.
question. And this is a question that is very near and dear to all of us on council. A couple things to speak to. There are no immediate plans for the city to reduce taxes. In fact, if you look at your tax bill, the city is the smallest, or one of the smallest increments on your tax bill. But that said, the city has just worked with South Adams County Water and Sanitation District to conduct a fee study, a fee analysis that looked at both cost of development and ongoing mill levy impacts for property owners. And out of that final study, which is in the process of being completed right now, we have a significant amount of information that we'll be pouring over with staff to identify where there are opportunities to either adjust fees up front for development or have conversations with key partners in the community around property taxes. Keep in mind that your property tax bill is made up of a number of districts, and for most of us, the most significant piece of that tax bill is our metro district. So that might be your first place to talk to is your local metro district, but please feel free to follow up with myself or any of us on council offline. It's about all the information I'm able to give here live. Thanks so much for the call.
Thank you, Councilman. Next is Mark. Mark, go right ahead with your question.
Yes, you built the water park. Yes, it's pretty nice, but I'm an adult. I went there and swam, and I couldn't swim. There's no deep pool there for adults. It was so crowded, I couldn't even swim. It was just full of kids, and it was just too bad you guys couldn't. Out of all those pools you made over there, you couldn't make anything for adults.
Crystal, do you want to address that?
Hi, Mark. This is Crystal Elliott, and thank you for your call. We are very proud of our pool. We anticipated to attract all ages of swimmers, and it's unfortunate that you weren't able to enjoy the pool as you wished, but I would like to offer you that we do have the morning hours for the adults to use the lap pool, but also keep in mind that we do have the existing rec center, which has got a wonderful lap pool, and then also we've got our new rec center, which is going to be breaking ground in late summer of this year. So I hope that helps your question that you have, but I encourage you to continue visiting our pool because it's one of the greatest amenities that we have right now within the city. Thanks for your call.
All right, thank you. Councilman Douglas, we heard earlier that you got an architect on board. Having an architect for the new recreation center sounds like a big milestone. What's next for that project?
Thank you, Roger. We got great input from about 860 residents throughout the community on their desires and what they like to see at the new rec center. Here's what they told us. They like to see a fitness, aquatics, child care spaces. They'd be really interested in that for the new rec center. It's also important to have a community space, providing rooms that can accommodate many different activities as well. We also learned that many community members don't use the existing rec center, and they also are relying on outside rec centers that are not in our city to provide for their needs. And so we want to make sure that our programming here, our new rec center, will offer at different times of the day to meet their busy schedule. Our architects have reviewed the data with the City Council and various advisory boards. They also have begun to created concepts and ideals for what the facility will look like, both inside and out. So tonight we'll be asking several polling questions to get more input on what you'd like to see incorporated on this new rec center. We'll also be rolling out some design ideals in the months ahead so we can get more feedback to nail this down to make sure this is what our city needs. So our goals right now are to design a building that meets our current needs and to smartly plan for the future growth of our community. I'm really excited about this project, and you can learn more about the results of the programming online at www.c3gov.com/QCL. So I appreciate your participation tonight and looking forward to your input.
Councilman, thank you. Again, the website where you can go online is c3gov.com/QCL. If you have a question for our panel, press *3 and one of our screeners will get you in line. We've got some great participation already, so thank you. Why don't we take our first polling question? Based on your input during the programming study, fitness was a key component of the new recreation center. To meet your fitness needs, would you rather have more self-directed fitness areas like treadmills, free weights, weight machines, and stretching areas, or would you rather have more directed fitness options like yoga, spinning, and Zumba? So to participate in our poll, please use your telephone keypad and enter the number of your response. And so enter 1 if you prefer self-directed fitness, and enter 2 if you like directed fitness. And again, self-directed fitness are things like treadmill, free weights, and weight machines. Directed fitness is for things like Zumba and classes. So go ahead and press now, and we will share the results with you in just a moment. And while you're voting, we'll take another question from Lisa. Lisa, go right ahead.
Hi, my question was about the Tower Road construction, and obviously that's a very busy road as it is right now, and my question is, what are the plans going to be in place for the heavy traffic that goes up and down that road during the construction? Are they going to open up 470, from Pena to 104th, or what are they going to do to help with that traffic problem?
Hi, Lisa. Jason McEldowney here. Thanks for the question. Again, another question near and dear to Council's heart. We're ecstatic that that project will be getting underway this year. In fact, the project just went out to bid within the last couple of weeks. Part of that process of coming back with the final bids will be to determine, in coordination with our Public Works, how to address those traffic impacts. We obviously have all seen that road at rush hour in the morning and rush hour in the evening, and it looks more like a parking lot at times. We've got to be very sensitive to making sure that our citizens can get in and out of the community, or folks can move through the community. So we don't have the details on how that's going to be handled yet, but that will be a top concern, and I can tell you that Council has made that very clear to staff as that design and bid have proceeded. So stay tuned for that. I know one of the key efforts that Council has asked staff to be mindful of is communication to the community, rather, on these projects. So as that gets closer and we have a bid back, we'll keep you guys apprised of those final plans. Thanks so much for your call.
All right, very good. Here are the results of our first survey question. Again, we asked you if you preferred self-directed fitness programs or directed fitness programs, and it happens to be a tie. Half of you want fitness programs that are directed, and half of you want self-directed programs. So I'll let the Council figure out what to do next based on that input. Let's go next to Councilwoman Elliott. What else can you tell us about what's happening here in the city?
Thank you, Roger. Another important project in Commerce City is the construction of the new North Metro, or the N Line. The city will be getting a station near 72nd Avenue and Colorado Boulevard, just west of US 85. On March 31st, City Council and Regional Transportation District, RTD, officials will celebrate the beginning of construction at the station, which will have 359 parking spaces, pedestrian access from neighborhoods and the Fernald Trail, and several bus routes serving the station. The new line will open in 2018, and residents can reach Union Station in 12 minutes. In 2014, the City Council adopted a station area master plan to capitalize on the opportunity that the transit brings. You can learn more about the plan at c.gov.com/stamp, STAMP, and watch the city's Facebook page for construction progress. I appreciate your participation tonight and look forward to your input.
All right, thanks, Crystal. So why don't we take some more questions? And don't forget, if you'd like to ask our panel a question, press *3 now on your keypad. We're going to go next to Bernie. Go ahead.
This is Bernie. I hope I'm not out of your lane. I don't live in Commerce City, but my question is on behalf of our 650 or 450,000 veteran population in the state, many of whom live in Commerce City. What initiatives are you taking to identify the needs of our veteran population, which are myriad, and also what needs do you take to identify our National Guard families who are experiencing difficult times, and many of them live in Commerce City?
Councilman Bullock, go ahead.
Thanks for the question, Bernie. One of the things we do with a lot of our veteran population is that they're active in our adult center at the rec center, and where they can go and take programs and participate in all the activities at our rec center. Another, if they need housing, they can go to our housing department and check on housing and see where we can locate them, or see what kind of options they have to get housing. And also through the government, we get CDBG grants, which help with all programs for veterans, children, seniors, and everything else. So I hope that answers, partially answers your question. Thank you, Bernie.
All right, great. Again, star 3 if you'd like to get in line. We're going to go next to Barbara. Go right ahead.
Yes, this is Barbara, and I've lived in Commerce City since 1961 and started driving in Commerce City in about 1971, and I want to know when you're going to repave Kearney Street and take out all those bumps. It's like driving on a washboard. And also I have a concern about the traffic flow on Quebec Street and the people speeding, especially when the high school students are getting out of school. It seems that there's no Commerce City police patrolling that area to stop those cars from speeding when the lights are flashing.
All right, Barbara, let's have Mayor Ford jump in and respond.
Hi, Barbara. Thanks for calling in tonight. When it comes to Kearney Street, Kearney Street's a large, long road. There are parts of it that are in Commerce City, parts of it in unincorporated Adams County. We just paved a portion of Kearney Street around 60th to 56th Avenue. However, I would ask that you call in to 303-289-3600 so that we can get exactly the part of Kearney Street that you're looking for improvements. We can make sure we can get the potholes and stuff filled right away, and check on this washboard bumps that you're talking about. And when it comes to the school and 72nd Avenue, when the school lets out, we're making a note right now to talk to the chief and have them provide some new police protection in that area right away. So hopefully that answers your question, but please follow up on the Kearney Street issue at the phone number I gave you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, that's great. Let's call on Tina next with your question. Go right ahead.
I may have missed this earlier, but I just was wondering when the upgrades to the recreation center at 60th is going to be completed, since primarily early in the morning there's lots of senior citizens that utilize the pool as well as the fitness room upstairs, and just curious when that renovation is going to take place.
Katie?
Hi, Tina. This is J.D. Carson. Thanks for calling. I will tell you that we will do an outreach to the community this summer, and that's when we will begin design for the renovation of the rec center. The things that we do know is that the renovations will include a therapy pool, which I know seniors are anxiously waiting for that. We will also be improving the locker rooms, and we will have family locker rooms, and there will also be improved fitness. So hopefully you will watch the website and the paper and find out when these outreaches are going to take place. And we will be doing another telephone town hall every other month. So it'll be very easy for you to participate into this community outreach. But thank you for calling.
All right, great questions tonight. If you have a question, press star 3 and we'll get you in line to talk to your council and mayor. Why don't we take a break from the discussion and ask our second poll question. Again, to participate in the poll, it's real simple. Just use your telephone keypad to enter the number of your response. Our question this time has to do with the architecture of the new recreation center. Strong consideration is being given to designing the architecture of the new recreation center to match the prairie and natural setting it will be built in. Are you supportive of that architectural design approach? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, and press 3 for unsure. Again, if you're supportive of the idea of using a prairie and natural setting design for the architecture of your new rec center, press 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 for unsure. Please record your vote now, and I'll come back and share the results with you in just a few minutes. And while you're voting, we're going to go next to Paul. Paul, go ahead.
Hello, this is Director Paul Solano from RTD. I represent Commerce City, Brighton, Thornton, the Northeast Quarter. I just wanted to give the mayor and the council accolades and praise. I'm right here by the new Frontier Park. The swimming pool is great. The new no parking signs and the bike pedestrian crossings have really controlled the traffic quite a bit. The Boys and Girls Club is fantastic. I look forward to the proposed remodeling of the old rec center. That's where I live, and I lived here, over 50 years. But anyway, you guys are doing a great job. I look forward to the groundbreaking of the 72nd Colorado proposed commuter rail stop. So I just wanted to say thanks for doing the town hall, and you guys are doing an excellent job.
Hey, Paul, this is Sean Ford, the mayor. Thanks for calling in. I think these things are important for our residents. That's why we're having more of them this year, and we appreciate the accolades, but there's more to come for the residents of Commerce City. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. Here is the results of our second survey question. Again, the question was, do you support a natural architecture design theme? And 78% of you said yes, 10% said no, and only 12% were unsure. So that's terrific feedback. We appreciate your participation. We'll have a couple more questions later in the call, so hang on. And we are next going to go to Catherine for a question. Go right ahead.
Hi there. Hi, this is Catherine, and he stole my thunder because I was going to thank you also for all the great things that I see you doing. We've lived in Commerce City for 10 years, and I'm a lifelong Colorado resident, and so we've lived up here in the north part of Commerce City for 10 years now, and there's a lot of people who've lived here a lot longer than we have, and I'm wondering when we're going to get a nice sit-down restaurant where we can maybe relax, maybe watch a football game, have a cold adult beverage or a soft drink, maybe meet some neighbors there, and enjoy our community rather than always having to drive 10, 15 miles to another place that's not nearly as close. And so how about even maybe a private owner who would open a new place called About Time? It's about time.
Hey, Catherine, this is Steve Douglas, Councilman Steve Douglas. That was a great question, and that is one of the most highly topic of discussion I sit on a restaurant. Most of the people in the northern end of our city have cars, and so when they want to go eat, they go, and people are getting tired of having to drive. So I understand very much what you're talking about. We just gave an incentive to an Italian restaurant. It's going to be built just on the the south side of 104th and Chambers, just catty corner of the emergency room. And look forward to having that groundbreaking later this year. And we do have an incentive with them to drive the construction of the project. And if those demands aren't met, then the incentives for so many quarters go down. So I anticipate that they will start with that, and that's one of many that are coming in. So look forward to having your family go out to eat. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman. For those of you that joined us a little bit late, good evening. My name's Roger, and we are talking with the City Council members in Commerce City tonight. We've already talked about some of the public and private investments happening here in the city. It's very exciting news. You can participate and ask a question by pressing star 3 on your keypad. You'll be transferred to an operator who will take down some quick information and get you in the queue. So again, star 3 on your keypad to ask a question. Why don't we take our next question from Michelle then? Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm also from Northern Commerce City and had the same question as the previous caller, and not just with restaurants, but what other business options is Commerce City looking into for revenue for the city?
Hi, Michelle. This is Jason McEldowney, and again, great question. You got Steve's update on the upcoming restaurant, and again, there are others in the pipeline with our economic development team. It's a priority that we reinforce with staff on a regular basis. I'm not sure if you were on the call earlier. I talked about some work that we're doing with the Water District to assess the fees for development and to determine what barriers those things might pose to new ventures coming into the city. That work is ongoing. We worked with our finance department over the last year or two to review sales and use tax policies to see what implications that had on the business friendliness of the city. So the theme here is that we are in an ongoing effort to identify any barriers that we can to bringing business to the city. Our economic development team has been growing as the city grows, and the focus is clearly on identifying job creators for the Northern Range and for the city as a whole. Just at the beginning of this month, Council authorized two incentives for close to two that will result in approximately 200 jobs right around 88th and Highway 2, just west of Highway 2. And that, we hope, is just, again, the beginning of a trend of seeing more and more employment opportunities arrive in the Northern Range. And throughout the city, that employment will, in turn, help to drive the retail and restaurant opportunities that we're all so eager for. Folks need a place to grab a beer after work and grab for lunch. So thanks for your call, and hopefully that helped clarify.
Great questions. We still have time to get to yours, so press star 3 if you'd like to get in line. We're going to call on Anna next. Go right ahead, Anna.
Hi, this is Anna. I had questions about where the old Adams City High School was, where the theater and the cafeteria still reside. Are there any plans to pick up and further that project, and are you planning on bringing anything in for the community, such as a playground, a dog park, maybe a soccer field?
Hi, Anna. This is Paulo Diaz, and that's a really good question. I actually drive by that on my way to work every day, so I often wonder the same thing. And actually, that property is owned by the Adams 14 School District, and so I know that they have had some ideas in the past in terms of what to do with that. But we are hoping to work with them because it is near the light rail station, so there are some things that we can, all as residents, benefit from that. So we definitely want to work with them on that. But in terms of what the actual plans are, your best bet really is to call the Adams 14 School District because that is their property. And their phone number is 303-853-3333. Again, that's 303-853-3333. And that was a really great question, so thank you for asking that.
All right. Next is Dennis. Go right ahead.
Yeah, this is Dennis. I live close to the rec center and the old dog track. Our question is, what is in plans for the old dog track besides the Boys and Girl Club?
Hi, Dennis. That's a good question. We are in a process now of choosing a master developer to do the developing on the old dog track. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing within the next month. And so after we choose a master developer, they'll come forward with a plan. We'll review it, see if it meets the needs of our community, and then we will go forward. But I want to thank you for your question.
Thank you, Councilman. Next up is Susan. Go right ahead with your question.
Hello, my friends. I first of all want to give kudos to City Council. You guys did a fantastic job on 104th. I really love it. My question is, are there any plans for widening 96th Avenue in the future?
Hi, Susan. This is Sean Ford, Mayor. We just got done helping get 96th Avenue through from Chambers up to Tower Road. And the widening, we would work with the developer, primarily, both developers on both sides, but the new developer, when they start building houses on the south side, some of that has to be repaid back to the city already for the improvements that we just put in. We're continuing to work on infrastructure. The 2K initiative helped start funding infrastructure. As you know, we have Tower Road and Highway 2 and 112th are coming up this year, which are big projects this year. I know we'll widen 96th, but we have also 120th and some of the other roads that are reaching capacity sooner. So it'll just be in the timeline that when it is necessary to widen 96th. Right now, there are some priorities like 120th and some others that we have to look at for widening. But it will be on our list. It's just not on there yet. So thank you for your call. Bye-bye.
Mayor, thank you very much. We're getting a lot of great questions tonight, and so keep them coming. *3 to get in line, and we will get you on the air. Councilman McEldowney, why don't you talk a little bit about other priorities of City Council and what you're working on in Commerce City?
Thanks very much. City Council recently held its annual retreat, and through those discussions identified several projects that we see as important to tackle in the years ahead. First and foremost is going to be creating a plan to build an interchange at Highway 85 and 120th Avenue. I think anybody who lives on the north end of town has dealt with the trains at 96th, 104th, or at 85 and 120th. Our goal is to address train congestion and provide a regional connection to the airport. If we can solve for 85 and 120th, that gives us a train-free corridor from east to west. The city also met recently with the Federal Railroad Administration to discuss other ways to improve train blockages, and we're seeing some improvements. We also got a great response to them in terms of partnering with us to work with the railroads themselves. I would encourage residents to keep calling the railroads when they do encounter a blockage to make sure that they don't forget about us. Another key priority is expanding Highway 2, and we expect construction to still occur this year, begin this year, I should say. Some of that will be in conjunction with the new rec center and the infrastructure that's going to have to be put in at 112th in order to make ready for the new rec center site. Highway 2 will be widened to 4 lanes to add bike and pedestrian path, improve safety. Again, tonight, Council wants to hear from you, the residents of Commerce City. What questions do you have about these and other projects happening in the community? Remember, press *3 to join the conversation.
All right. Thank you, Jason. So why don't we take some more questions, again, as the Councilman just said. *3, and we'll get you in line as quickly as we possibly can. We're going to go to Alan next. With your question, go right ahead.
Hi, this is Alan, obviously. I'm glad to hear that you're addressing Highway 85 and 120th. I am aware that the Adams County master plan apparently is to put a bridge over the highway. As a resident of Stillwater, right at that immediate neighborhood there, I'm strongly opposed to that, and I hope city would give consideration to that as well. But I don't know what the long-term plans are in terms of widening 120th and particularly taking care of 85, but if they can, in the short term, get that right at the actual intersection, get those train gates widened and the road widened right there, because 120th can take a lot more traffic than it does. It just simply bottlenecks right at that intersection. No one can get around traffic to go to the left or to the right because of the pinch at the gates.
Okay. Councilwoman?
Hi, Alan. Thanks for calling. I don't know if you know where I live, but I do live up there, and I'm very used to this congestion there. We are working on a new transportation plan with Brighton. We have a partnership with the City of Brighton, and there is a long-term transportation plan that we will be working with in conjunction of that partnership with Brighton. We have been looking at that interchange for quite a while, and I probably received more phone calls about the trains there blocking 120th and 112th. So thank you for calling tonight, and please stay tuned for the next town hall meeting that we will have in a month from today.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. Let's go to Ace next with your question. Go right ahead.
Yeah, my question is, I'm a concerned parent on my kids attend Central Elementary, and there is a sign, pedestrian sign to cross right there at Holly, and it's just right off of 64th, south of 64th. But anyways, it's there. People push the button, but the flashing lights are in the direction of the school. So when there's traffic coming down Holly, north and south, I witnessed several people almost getting hit because they pushed the sign to cross, but traffic doesn't see the flashing lights. Is there any way that we can get that established and fixed?
Hey, Ace. This is Councilman Steve Douglas, and I appreciate that you noticed that flashing light's not working. So I can follow up with Public Works, and they can get that checked out right away. I hate to see any kind of incident happen where a child gets hurt. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Ace.
All right, thank you. Why don't we take our break and ask our next polling question? The leisure pool will be a key element of the new recreation center, and an important part of the leisure pool will be a good slide. Do you agree with that or disagree? Press 1 on your keypad if you agree, and press 2 if you disagree. How important is a good slide in a leisure pool? Vote now, and I'll share the results with you in just a minute. And again, while you're voting, we're going to take our next question and one more call. Press star 3 if you have a question and would like to speak with our council. Next up is Peggy. Go right ahead.
Hi, this is Peggy, and I'm just curious what your plans are for sourcing water for the, the approved retail development around DIA.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks for your question. This is Mayor Sean Ford. When it comes to the 1,500 acres that the voters allowed Denver to develop on DIA's property, that will all be Denver's responsibility to provide water service to that area because it will be within Denver. However, Adams County and the municipalities within Adams County will share in the revenue generated by those developments. The stuff that's in the Aerotropolis that's within Commerce City will be responsible. It would be just like any other development. They'll have to go to the Water District, which is a special district, and they'll have to purchase ERUs or equivalent residential units to provide them with their source of water for whatever business it is that they're putting in. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for your call.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Here are the results of our third survey question. Again, we asked, is a good slide important to the leisure pool? And here are the answers. 41% or 66% said yes, and 34% said no. We're going to have a lot of people on this slide, it sounds like, there, Mayor Ford. Next up, we are going to take a call from Melania. And I may have mispronounced that, so I apologize. Go right ahead.
You did that good. Hi, can you hear me?
Go right ahead.
Hi. Yes. Thank you for the call. I never listened to these calls, but I've been living in Commerce City for 17 years. First off, it's been a growing community, and I love the way it's growing. I like Pioneer Park. I like the swimming pool, although I've never been there. But I see what happens when I go through. I listened to the calls with Catherine on the restaurants, and that was a good thing. Dennis on the dog track, and that was another question as far as what else is going to become there, And I think it was Barbara with the questions about like Kearney on the side of the school in the back park of Kearney, where the playground is, and I just. It's just the streets are so bad, the street. Can you hear me?
You can. We can. Councilwoman Elliott, do you want to talk about the safety on the King Super side?
Yeah, it's the streets are so bad, and there are potholes everywhere in the street, and then cars come out of Rose Hill, and they're not paying attention to the stop signs or anything.
Crystal, go ahead.
I'm sorry. And then
go ahead. Now we're going to stop. We're going to stop you so we can get an answering. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay.
Crystal.
Hi, Melania. Thank you so much for your questions. And what I would like to provide you as information in regards to maybe so much the dangerous area of the intersections close to a park and also with the potholes in that area. This is something that we would definitely pass on to, first of all, for the traffic concerns or speeding concerns. That would go through our police department, in which they would conduct a traffic study preferably different times of the day to assess the solution of any type of traffic calming tactics. And then as far as the potholes, that is something that I'll definitely pass on to our Public Works Department. But I hope this answers your questions, and look forward to see what you think about any type of resolutions that we may come up with. Thank you for your call.
Okay, next up is Steve. And let me bring you up. Steve, go right ahead with your question.
Hi, this is Steve. I live out in Frontier Village. I've lived out here for the past 11 years, and am often spotted out on 96 on the trails around the Arsenal, jogging all the way up to 58, just past Dick's. And we have a lot of runners and marathoners out here, and I was wondering if there were any future plans of possibly expanding the perimeter of those trails to around the entire compass of the Arsenal.
Hi, Steve. It's Jason McEldowney again. Great question. I love walking my dogs and riding my bike around those trails as well. Two things. One, yes. Short answer, yes. There are plans to continue to expand. The Arsenal falls into a comprehensive plan sponsored by the state to actually integrate a number of the refuges, the Front Range refuges, as a greenway corridor. Also, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, who governs the refuge, recently completed their plan, their long-term plan for how to evolve that, and they are going to actually be extending trails within and without the site, including some additional through-the-fence options, which will allow folks to connect in. So stay tuned for that, and look for some of those details on our city website. Thanks so much.
Great questions tonight. Councilwoman Carson, Commerce City is continually looking for better ways to deliver services, aren't you?
Oh, yes. I can't tell you how excited I am about some of the initiatives to ensure that we continue to deliver services residents expect. For example, Council approved additional funding to equip our police officers with body cameras. Not only does this help protect our employees, but it also aligns with the improvements underway in our police department to be more responsive to the community's needs. City Council is seeking residents to serve on a new Public Safety Citizen Advisory Board to improve community safety, and a Parks, Recreation, and Golf Advisory Committee to help guide programming. You can apply online at c3gov.com/boards. Our Youth Commission is doing some amazing things to improve our community, whether it's encouraging random acts of kindness or creating a public service project. The future is bright in our city. You can learn more about what's happening in the city at c3gov.com or by contacting City Council. We're here to serve you and provide programs and services residents want and expect.
All right, thank you again. c3gov.com for more information on any program that Commerce City provides. Why don't we go to our last polling question for the evening, and this is based on the programming survey. So based on the programming survey, child care was an important feature to include in the new rec center. Would you be willing to use the service and pay a fee for the child care service? So press 1 if yes, you'd use the service and your family would pay the fee. Press 2 if yes, my family would use the service but would not pay a fee. And press 3 if no, my family would not use the service. Again, yes. 1, yes, my family would use the service and pay a fee. 2, if yes, your family would use the service but not pay a fee. And press 3 if no, your family would not use the service. Again, press your phone button and record your vote now, and I'll share the results with you in just a minute. And we're going to take a question from Bill while you're voting. Go right ahead, Bill. Bill, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I'd like to inquire about Highway 2. I know a lot of work's been done at 120th and 96. All those roads have really been improved, and they've done a wonderful job there. But all those improvements, especially now with the new north neighborhoods coming in, a lot of those people are using Highway 2, and it's creating a nightmare there on a 2-lane road, and I'm afraid to say it's created some accidents out there too. And then also up on Highway 2 and 72nd, that light that they have there, especially going west on 72nd, I think somebody goofed there or something, because all it lets is two cars go through there. In the morning especially, it creates a bottleneck because most of the people can't make a left turn there with all the oncoming traffic. And I think that light should be looked at. I don't know if it's functioning.
Hey, Bill,
right.
This is Councilman Steve Douglas. Sorry to cut you off there. I just want to make sure we get your question answered here. This is the timing and all that, so I'm very sorry about that. No, that's a good question. You know, we're getting ready to start on the expansion of the highway on Tower Road here after the second quarter, and just shortly, I'd say about another 2 months after that, we're going to start widening on Highway 2 from 72nd all the way up to 120th. Now, the intersection that you're talking about, we will have improvements there as well, and so you should see that later on this year. Thanks, Bill.
All right, here are the results of our final polling question. We asked, would you be willing to use the service? We're talking about child care. Would you be willing to use child care services and pay a fee? Looks like we had 68% said no, my family would not use that service, and 24% said yes, my family would use the service and pay a fee. I guess it depends on if you have kids or not, largely. And we appreciate your participation in all the polling questions this evening. And we will be getting to a few more questions starting right now. And Ben is next. Go right ahead. Thanks for holding so long. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Ben, and I've got a couple of questions one question in regards to two different locations where they have worked on the railroad crossings. For example, the one on 72nd and Highway 2, from there going west as you cross the railroad tracks, when they redid that work for the crossing, it is really a hazard. If you go through there with a bigger truck or a bigger vehicle, it sways. The same thing with the crossing that as you're going south on Vasquez, just right there south of 56th Avenue, it is really a hazard to the extent where cars have actually lost their front scoops, on the lower cars. Is that going to remain that way or are they going to put signs to warn people that it's a hazard, slow down to 10 miles an hour so that it's safe?
Hi, Ben. Yeah, that's absolutely a really great question. This is Paulo Diaz, and as I mentioned earlier, that's actually part of my drive as well, too, so I experienced that bump, particularly on 72nd and Highway 2. As Councilman McEldowney pointed out earlier this evening, we did meet with the Federal Railroad Administration last month, and we actually took a nice little bus tour along some of our troubled railroad spots. And that 72nd and Highway 2 is one of the ones that we identified as one that definitely needs some work. So the FRA did agree that we could work directly with the railroads on that to make it happen, and it will be part of our process to work with the railroad company to make sure we take care of all that other stuff. So thank you again for your question.
All right, next up is Chris. Go right ahead with your question, please.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Thanks for taking my call here. A lot of like the other North Enders want to appreciate what you guys are doing with the new rec center. It is kind of a pain in the butt to drive all the way down to the old rec center from way up on 120th area here, but and the new park. Thanks for that as well. But my question is, I know we've kind of addressed the restaurant situation because there's really not a place to eat, but what about other places like shopping? I know the King Soopers is built, but are there going to be opening any like Chipotle's or Targets or Walmarts kind of in the northern Commerce City area, or is it just kind of, got to drive to Brighton to their crappy Walmart or drive all the way to 120th in Quebec, to get a nicer Walmart, or all the way up to Prairie Center for Target kind of deal is my question.
Hey, Chris, it's Jason McEldowney, and let me see if I can give a short answer to your broad question. The answer is ultimately all of those things, right? The comprehensive plan has key intersections like 104th and Tower, 104th and 104th and Highway 2. Many of those key intersections are designated for future commercial and retail. So think about the kinds of developments you see at Prairie Center. The key is the city doesn't build those things. We have to create an environment in which the private sector will come come and develop those things. And so, as I said earlier, we're doing everything we can in partnership with the development community, our economic development partners, and regional economic development partners to make sure that we are creating an environment that brings those folks in. One of the big drivers is unfortunately rooftops and jobs, and so we've got to get those employment centers in place to bring and attract those other opportunities. Thanks so much for your questions.
Great questions. Let's go to Carol next. Go right ahead. You're live with our audience.
Well, thank you so much. My question has to do with the new rec center, and we've heard talk about things that are going to be there for the youth and younger adults, but I'm wondering what is being planned to help those of us who are seniors or aging. I mean, we're all going to be there someday. Is there going to be anything like a walking stream or a therapy pool, which is good for everyone?
JD, do you want to take that?
Hi, Carol. Thanks for calling. I'm actually into the age of a senior now, and I live up north, so I'm very interested myself in what we're doing. We'll be doing the groundbreaking this summer, and we are doing community outreach with the community right now. Some of the things I can tell you that will be part of this rec center is a community room, which would be maybe possible for a senior meeting. We will have a kitchen there, so maybe we could have some kitchen classes. The fitness we'll have a programs designed around seniors for fitness, and Silver Sneakers will be part of that. So please stay tuned and be part of the process of the community input. Thank you for calling.
Great question, Carol, and great answer, JD. Thank you. Let's go next to Lily. Go right ahead.
Yes, this is Lily. Am I on?
You are. Go right ahead with your question.
Well, my question is kind of a complicated one here, and it's it's not the snow removal, but it's something that happens because of the snow removal. The plows pile the snow up along my sidewalk, and I have a corner lot, and it's a long one, so it's like 200 and some feet. And then that snow becomes packed on there. Sometimes I even pile it over my sidewalk. And I know I'm responsible for cleaning my sidewalk, but can I get the city to come back out and clean that snow off that's out there on the street? I couldn't even put my trash cans out for 3 weeks because of the ice out there.
Hey, Lily, this is Councilman Steve Douglas. We've had a series of problems this year. A lot of snow because of extreme weather conditions, and then a lot of homes that have the west side facing continue to have a lot of ice build up, and then the drainage areas have been iced up. So we can contact Public Works, and they can come out and chip away at the drainage area. And that also you can go to 303-289-3600 and ask for Public Works, and just give them your address, and they can come out and help you with the removal. Thank you.
That's great. Let's go next to Juan with your question. Go right ahead.
Hi, my name is Juan, and I had a question/concern about ever since they expanded 96th Avenue over toward Tower, between Buckley Road connecting up to 88, there are cars still going around the barriers. We've noticed that, I don't know if pedestrians would ever have been, taking trash and timber and stuff and trying to block the path, but cars are still going around. In fact, just the other night, there was a car stuck at 96 and Buckley Road. I'm just wondering if they're going to do kind of permanent type obstruction and keep cars from trying to go around the obstacles and, coming by that bike trail that's over there on Buckley Road.
Juan, thanks so much for the question. This is one of my personal hot buttons. This is Councilman McEldowney. I walked my dog over there and literally just took pictures within the last several days of the obvious deep tire tracks that show folks are still driving from 96 down onto trying to get down onto Buckley, and in some cases using the bike trail. Staff has attempted several different solutions for signage up at 88th to try and avoid folks from heading down that way, but clearly folks are not understanding that roadway is now closed, and we have to look at more impassable option. So please know that this is a personal mission to get this solved, and we'll be expecting updates in the very near future from Public Works on this to find ways, even if it's putting up the flashing signs to remind folks not to go through there. So we will get this solved.
Okay, next is Frank. Go right ahead with your question.
Hi, this is Frank. I actually, I think Lisa beat me to my question, but basically I was going to ask the same thing about the Tower Road expansion and how they were going to handle the congestion down there. I think Jason or somebody else had answered that question, but I do want to ask a different question, and that is I heard rumor that there may be a Costco or something like that going in around 104th and 85, and I just wanted to see if that was true or not.
Hi, Frank. This is Sean Ford, Mayor of Commerce City. Right now, 104th and 85, the two lots that are being prepped have not been annexed yet into the city of Commerce City. I don't know of any Costco at that location as of right now. It would be great if Costco was coming, though. Our residents sure deserve those services. So just keep a watch on c3gov.com. Stay up to date on what's going on with economic development. The good news is we know that there's going to be some more shops going in around 104th and Chambers in the near future. So thank you for your questions.
Thanks, Mayor. We have just a couple minutes left. Councilman Diaz, do you have any closing remarks for us tonight?
So thank you all again for participating in tonight's telephone town hall. So as a new council member, I found this discussion to be very enlightening, and I hope you found the hour to be informative. So we appreciate all the input we received tonight, and if we didn't get a chance to answer your question, you can leave us a voice message at the end of the call. And if you do want more information, feel free to visit our website at www.c3gov.com. So thank you.
Councilman, thank you very much. On behalf of all the City Council members here tonight, we appreciate you joining us and participating in the call. We're very sorry if we didn't get to your question tonight, but you can still leave the City Council a message at the end of the call. So if you have an additional question or comment, just stay on the line. On behalf of Mayor Ford and the City Council and everyone here tonight, thank you, and we wish you a very good evening.